Hello everybody, this is Simon with more Dark Souls 3. First, we're going to say hello to our good old friend Patches, who has only fucked us over once this time,
Hello again. Welcome to Patch's Boutique of Wonders.
which makes him, like, one of the best patches so far. Purely incidental. Accidental? Anyway, forgot when he starts selling the horse hoof ring, but I need one of these. Oh, I already have 3. Alright. Did I have 1? Ah, forgot that I had already bought that anyway. I wanted to get rid of my souls because there might be some dying in our future. My plan for today is to dip into the DLC. The first one, Ashes of Ariandel. The other one, of course, is not available to us yet. To get some items, to see how our sword handles things, and I think I have one more shard. Yes. And it's one of the biggest reasons for why I want to have the Fume Ultra Great Sword to deal with the ice-based enemies here, because not that the hammer, Ward's hammer, would be bad against them, because it still deals a shitload of damage, but its main selling point, I think, is Frostbite, and I feel that this would not apply to many enemies here. Could be wrong though, maybe everything here is still very weak to Frostbite, but I feel it's
I'm
like
very cold
thematically more, shut
now.
the fuck up, more thematically appropriate to use the sword here. Anyway, about Ashes of Ariandel. I'm not super fond of it. I think it's mostly boring. It's not like super bullshit or anything, but there's a lot of parts in it where I'm just like, either it's very tedious to go through here and not very fun to begin with, or I just skip it completely and then it's even less fun. The first thing we're looking out for is the spear this guy was throwing at us. While I will take their armor set too, but mostly circling around a bit, and maybe we can even use the torch this guy is using. How is the Mailbreaker doing anyway? Oh, L2. I usually never use weapons on the left hand. Well, that is definitely quick in poking. It's of course it's completely unupgraded, but it might be a good idea to use that in case an enemy is just not dead yet and needs another quick poke, which is exactly what it can supply. I'm not 1000% sure why there is a singular poison gem here, as basically the entire reward for going to this corner of the map, because otherwise it's just very open and there is not much to it. um, but this is some of my problems with Ariandel are basically exactly that. There is not much point to this corner of the map, but boy, it surely is pretty big, isn't it? And we're going to see more of that very soon. And I'm not here to only complain. There are definitely some fun parts of it, but this beginning part is not one of the fun parts in my opinion. I also like that if you come up here from the start, you can immediately defuse an ambush of these people here, which if I were to run down there, would all swarm me. But this way it's just like, yeah, okay, I guess I'm just careful and will not get caught by them. Um, I think it's not terribly interesting as a setup per se, though I don't know where this guy is coming from. And also why the other guy wasn't shield broken enough. I think the follow-up is a little too slow for my taste. In general, I'm not super fond now, having used it a bit, of the two-handed moveset, which of course we are locked to at the moment because I don't have any. I don't have 50 strength. As soon as we can use the Fogs one-handed, I'm pretty sure that there will be more fun to be had with it. Um, until that is the case, I will keep using it for the DLC. As I said, it makes more sense to have it here. Can I? Yeah, I can. Wonderful. So one-handed it is. And then maybe wait until I do have 50 strength and toy around with other things, like for example these guys' javelin. It's a good thing that it does have such high poise health, as people call it, which is basically what I've been calling hyper armor. Another helmet you shouldn't have, like literally, I don't need this. But yeah. So this is the only way you can go at the start, which is a little weird because, well, you'll see. Oh wow, an item. Oh my god, a trap. So, you would expect this to be an ambush of sorts, but it's not. It's just cutting you off from an easy way back. You can go back, but this makes this area a pain in the ass to invade. Because if you spawn down here and you realize that there are people still up there. Why is the game stuck now? Um, Hello? Did it just crash? That's never happened before. Um, I guess we stop it here. Sorry. It has started working again. I hope that won't happen. It's of a fresh restart of my laptop. I have to do this at the moment so that it will work at all. Just one more week for my better one to to arrive in my hands, basically. 4 days, actually, 4 days. Anyway, I hope I can get the videos glued together in post. So yeah, this is more or less the trap, which activates the wolves, and you can hear them howl too. Now I really wish I had a sweeping weapon. But yeah, 3 wolves at once is not a good not a good sight, because they're basically, well, dogs. Less evolved dogs, and dogs in Dark Souls are never fun, as we've found out before. Wow, you can delay that follow-up a lot. And they are a bit of an exception here, because they're not nearly as mindlessly aggressive as some other dogs, um, which we have encountered before. As you can see, they're relatively easy to handle. But on the other hand, there's a lot of them, and this is where the big open, but also kind of tedious part comes in, which I have complained about before. You can, of course, whenever you die to something, maybe the wolves themselves, maybe some trap later on, always fight through all of these every single time. Or you decide that this is really not worth the effort and just run past. There's too many of them to really be considered an easy thing to avoid. They will call more, and really they will leash at some point, so just run past them, in my opinion. And it's going to be a far, far easier time on you. I'm taking them out now because I want to explore a bit in peace and quiet. Like I did that the first time I was here too. But when I'm just playing for myself, basically, I'm always just completely ignoring them now, because again, it's just not fun. Stop. Like, it's not even super hard or anything. Is that a one hit? Yeah. Okay. I'm not terribly over leveled, I don't think so. Maybe even a little low for the recommended, as far as recommended levels go for this DLC. But so far they're mostly just annoying, but it takes a while. You have to take your time with them. Otherwise, you will get swarmed at some point. And it's not super ideal, I think. You can see these guys up there, waiting for you, basically. And as soon as you get the item, they activate. This is kind of a funny trap. Oh, I actually... Wow. Do they only become enemies when you take the item? Because I was doing the lock-on thing. I wasn't super sure about them. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was close. Wow. No. Stop it, camera. So yeah, I'm usually, when I'm not sure if a tree is hostile or not, I will just click the lock on button really quick to see if it does lock on or not. but in this case there was no lock-on happening. So I thought, okay, maybe the trees only come later. But they don't come later. Weird. But yeah, this is kind of a nasty trap. But I'm kind of glad that for once I'm actually running into these and I'm not just smugly explaining, look, there would be a trap here, but then I know that it's there, so of course I'm avoiding it. These have weird hitboxes. Oh, oh, she's doing a grab attack. Oh. I didn't know rap. Regroup. Trees. Even inanimate trees are dangerous obstacle. So this is actually kind of a dangerous situation, but it requires a lot of patience and knowing when to run in. As do most situations in Dark Souls, to be quite fair. This is not a unique observation, I don't think. So, let's see if you can't get some melee guys to actually melee. No, that's a strong move, wrong move. One of them should be melee, one of them is semi with the torch, and one of them is ranged with the javelin. The melee guy is taking the sweet time. Yeah, because he also has a shield. Can't believe I didn't get hit at all. Didn't even see what was happening. Let's stomp him. Not exactly the way I planned it to happen. But I'll take it. Never trade with an ultra. How's the backstab damage anyway? That's decent. Probably don't have to equip a dagger. Anyway, something wow, another one. I said last time, which is wrong, which I just remembered. The R2s, they don't deal thrusting damage, they deal blunt damage, strike damage. Well, because it doesn't have a point. Makes sense, makes sense. So yeah, we did this for the follower javelin. Wonderful. I'm pretty sure it takes 12 dexterity, so we can play around with it a bit. And it is one of the few spears which scale heavily with strength, so I'm gonna try it out. Yeah, the big problem I have now is that this is, as you can see, the way back. So whenever you want to invade someone, you always have to run up here and check if they're up there. And then maybe they will fall down while you're here and you're sad. But also I've wasted kind of a lot of Estus, so now I'm going back to the bonfire, so now everything respawns, including the wolves, so now I have to kill the wolves again. And this is just not fun, is my point, you know. I basically wasted my time taking them out in the first place, and it's not even that I died, that I didn't fuck up or anything, I just took too many hits, I guess. I didn't have to go the optional route to the follower javelin area, you know? And I fail to see how it's my fault, basically, that now I have to do all of this again. Yeah, oh, R1s, just R1s. I think I will just take these two who are aggroed at the moment, and yeah, you're doing very good, buddy. And the rest of them, they should not follow you down the drop. Alright. And now I guess I'll just hoof it. As I said, I don't think that there are too many items strewn about here, and I will have a lot of wolves at my back, but there is just no big point in taking them out again. This guy, however, there is a point in taking him out, but for every attempt you want to make, you will have to kill all of the small wolves again. And then maybe he just throws you down the cliff, then you have to take out the small wolves all over again, and you're sad, so we're not gonna do that. This is my recommendation. Maybe come back later, but not now. I'm never super sure with these guys how much poise they actually have. They're a big, like, even bigger Lothric Knights. And I mean, they do have a shield. And they have more range than I thought, and now I have to run past the wolves again. You see, I don't like this. It's not super fun, especially this area back here, which, spoilers, is again completely optional. But getting to it is just really tedious if you take out all the wolves, and really pointless, and even more time wasting, I guess, if you don't. Just gonna ignore everything again, and I'm probably also even going to ignore the big guy, you know, just because there is no point in fighting anything here. It's kind of sad. I mean, I get what they're going for with the open field full of enemies that harass you, and they call more enemies, and then there is a big one, and you think you're fucked, and maybe you are, if you actually try to fight him. And there is even more fun stuff with him later on, because he's part of the boss fight. And as far as I remember, if you deal enough damage to him now that he despawns, then later on in the boss fight he will have less health, which is pretty cool. Is there not done? I think he should be gone now. Yeah, he is. And you also get 3 large Titanite shards, which is also quite cool. Kind of want to get behind him to backstab, but it isn't working out. Jesus fucking Christ. Problem is, I staggered him with the first hit, but, you know, after the second hit he just decided that no, I have infinite poise now. I'm just not gonna fight them. It's not fun. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm under level 2. I'm not dealing as much damage as I could. It's true. But this is also something which is very weird. The normal guys up here, I obviously have absolutely no problem dealing with them. The wolves are 2 hits too, and it would take a lot of... Oh, cool. Why not? It would take a lot of more power to be able to kill them in 1 hit. So even if I were like level 70, 80, which is definitely the recommended level to go here, I wouldn't kill them in 1 hit. And this is for me the big cutoff point. 1 hit or 2 hits, because this is really where the tactic changes dramatically. Here, huh? Oh, someone is doing badly. So I don't know. I mean, the big X guys, the Millwood Knights, they are far harder to deal with than the wolves are, than the followers are, and I guess it makes thematic sense too, in a way, because all of the followers are just, oh come on, amazing, just amazing. Oh, yeah, okay, he probably got 1 hit by a lightning stake or something. Ugh, the eternal plight of the blue. This is where I can't get a good handle on Ariandel itself, the entire DLC, I mean. And I also feel like it's one of the few points, especially later on with some enemies, where having a fast weapon is very good, and having a slow weapon like I do won't do you any favors, because there are enemies that can be... This time they leashed because it didn't trigger the fall down trap. Great. They didn't leash. Anyway, where you can get enemies rather easily stun locked, like you can get the Lothric Knight stun locked too with a fast weapon. That is very good. Or you kill them in 2 hits like I do. But here they have too much health to be killed in 2 hits by a heavy weapon. They obviously don't stagger as well as they should, at least in my opinion, to this fuck off Ultra Greatsword. And therefore, you are kind of screwed if you have a slow weapon. And I'm not a fan of that, because I'm a fan of big weapons. Slow, big weapons. Anyway, this is the tower where the good shit is. So we're going to invade said tower. Am I being followed? No, Not even by a follower who is obviously not doing his job then. Are you okay? Ah, come the fuck on with this bullshit. I know it's not bullshit. It is fair and balanced, and I'm just a bit underleveled and stuff like that. But I'm still, sometimes it feels like there is not much I can do against this nonsense they're doing. Why did I? What the fuck? What just happened? Why didn't I do a plunge attack? I just fell on my ass. This is what I wanted. But no, he isn't even stunned by the plunge attack. I don't get it. Why is this so hard? Can't really get away from this nonsense and now have to run through the snowfield again. It's great. It's amazing. I'm sorry if I sound too cranky, but I just want to get a weapon, and I never feel like when I go here later, then the entire beginning of the area is a joke, and then maybe the Millwood Knights are balanced. Maybe I'm still not used to this weapon. Maybe this is the problem. Maybe you can frostbite them. Let's see here, okay? Let's use the club again. And why not the shield? Sure. Looks like it would fit in this environment. But I always wonder when they really want you to come here, because you can do that after the cathedral, like very, very early. Let's see how the club moves. Quite well, of course. It's good. It's a good club. But the Millwood Knights, they always confuse me in how much harder they are than the rest of the area. And it also is part of a problem I have with, well, okay, with some of the other designs, especially in the other DLC, which I call mini-boss focused enemy placement. Where here, for example, you have this one guy, and he is basically as hard as Dark Souls 1 Black Knight, I would say. Kills me about as often for sure if I try to take him fairly and don't like parry guard him or whatever. Which is a problem when they are actually more or less a normal enemy. Like you have Black Knights, which definitely count as mini-bosses at the start of Dark Souls 1, as regular enemies in its very, very final area, you know? So this is basically like we're going to the Kiln of the First Flame in Dark Souls 1. Except it's part of the normal progression. And obviously you can kill Black Knights in Dark Souls 1 early, if you're good enough. Sure, yes. I can kill this guy too, this is what happens. He stunned me all the way up here, cool. You can do all of that, but having it be more or less part of the progression. Another combo, awesome. Maybe now? Does he have a backstabbable area? Don't even know. He does. Okay, wonderful. See, if I use a weapon where I'm used to, stuff is suddenly far easier for me. Okay. But now I'm actually really glad that I have the shield. Gotta admit. And they drop Titanite shards. You know, there is something fundamentally wrong with the enemy balancing here. I do think so. Because what you get here are definitely normal shards, some large shards. I mean, they can drop large shards, I think. But their common drop is Titanite shards, and this is a joke. At this part of the game, at this difficulty level of this individual enemy, this is a sick joke. And There are more of them. They're just here. And the game is like, yeah, this is what you're dealing with now because, I mean, it's the DLC. It's supposed to be hard. Yes, it is. But it's neither supposed to be unfair, nor is it supposed to be unfun. And the two kind of blend into each other in some ways. And I do think that it crosses the line a bit too much, especially with the Millwood Knights, where you, as I said, just have to deal with them in some ways. Adios. Sadly didn't get the backstab there, but this was good enough. I mean, I still do like the heavy weapons. This was, by the way, the guy who shot at us from up there, so this is always a kind of a time for revenge situation. I think we're in the clear as far as the tower goes, at least I hope so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. I really like this tower, by the way. It's great. You go out there and you have this wonderful view. It's perfectly positioned to give you this view of the cathedral, which we're going to get to later on. Um, you hear the wind sounds rushing. You kind of are full of adrenaline because you probably struggle a lot getting here unless you run by all the wolves. And finally dealt with all the Millwood Knights, and then you're up here on this broken tower, and it's tricky. You might fall down. um, you might have a hard time with it, but this is great. I mean, the environment here, this is a very, very good part of the game, I think, and of the DLC. And I appreciate that they made this. I don't appreciate the Millwood Knights in general. They're basically like Lothric Knights with even more combos and far, far more health, far more fuck you, I attack now attacks. And as I said again and again, I don't think that they're super fun to fight. You know what? Let's not be stupid. I forgot if I think you have to fall down from there. Shouldn't attempt the jump. Just forgot the item. Sorry for going back up the long ladder. But yeah, gives me more time to muse. I seriously don't want to be just whinging about this all the time. I generally I think overall this DLC is okay. It's worth buying. It's I don't think that they filched me on my money or anything. And this is good. This is what I was looking for. Another item another weapon which I definitely want to try out. I mean I got owned by it enough. Um, there are just some parts in it which I don't agree with, how they are made, how they are fine-tuned basically, or not at all. How they're basically just like, yeah, you just deal with this now, okay? Are we cool? I don't care. And it doesn't have to be that way. I think the Dark Souls 2 DLCs are an absolutely shining example of how to make a DLC in a game which has been sometimes rightfully, sometimes is really unfairly maligned in the past, use its engine and create something really beautiful and fun in almost all cases. There are some parts, I mean, the co-op areas are garbage. Everybody agrees on that, and I am definitely agreeing on that too. But the main parts, with some exceptions, like for example in the second and third DLC especially, there are some parts which are blatantly unfair and some enemies which are not fun to fight. But there are so few and far between in general where I don't think that it matters too much to really influence my opinion on the DLC as a whole. Whereas here, I definitely feel like my enjoyment is marred a little bit too often to truly say that okay, I can overlook these things. Generally, I always have a good time and it always impresses me. And it's kind of sad. You can only unlock them if you hit them first, or maybe you have a short range. Holy shit! Stop attacking! I stopped hitting the button a while ago. Well, at least they're dead now. Wonder if you can frostbite them. Yeah. I think the biggest issue I definitely had at the start here is that the two-handed moveset of the thugs is really not good. Grab attack. Wonderful. And also something I really don't like is this attack. It's super annoying to avoid. It sneaks up on you because I think it's sneaking up on me right now. No, because there sometimes are a lot of these trees at the same time, and it just makes everything a mess. It's similar to the Elder Grus in the swamp, who just produce billions of homing skulls for you to enjoy, and which I don't quite get why they would do this, because it doesn't add much. You just have to run away, basically, or hold up your shield, I guess, with hopefully decent enough elemental defense. So, for fuck's sake, almost did it. Please tell me I won't die from this now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, I should have used normal attacks, but... Now you have to run through the wolf field again. I mean, yes, I'm fucking up, but consider a first-time player's experience. They're also gonna fuck up, and then I have to run through all of that stuff again. And it's not fun. It's just not fun. And this is my biggest problem with it. It's not that it's unfair per se, or that the enemies are too hard, or that they should have put less of them in there. This is not my biggest issue with it. The biggest issue is that due to the way everything is put together here, you have a series of challenges in which the 1000% best way to deal with them is to not deal with them and just run past again and again. And this way you lose out on a lot of fun which you could be having by fighting them, and all manner of actual meaningful challenge. It's just that after a while it just gets really old. And it has gotten old for me after the first time already. Sad to say, but it's the case. So now of course the archer is alive again. Now all the trees are alive again. You know what, I'm gonna get souls. I'm gonna fuck off to here. Shield up just in case. I'm gonna get the great bow. Gonna get blocked by the wolves. Okay, dying down here is less of an annoyance. And book it again. Wonderful. You see, this is not how you should be dealing with challenges, but fuck me if I'm going to kill all of those trees again. It's just not... it's not fun. It's not fun the way it's made. I have to carefully approach it so that two trees don't aggro at the same time. They do admittedly have a little too much health at the moment for the amount of damage my weapon is dealing, but doesn't change the fact that I have to approach them in that matter. And then everything is full of wolves, and it just makes me a sad boy. What just happened? Was that the archer? Yes! No. What? Hitboxes. Oh, this is the archer. Jesus, you don't see anything here. Yeah, well then I don't kill you. I just run past. It's not fun. Okay, there is an item down there, but it's nothing special. I'm still gonna get it. Yeah, whatever. I've ignored it countless of times before because the cost for taking it is just too high. Cost is not having fun. And I think it's not even good. Yeah, wow, wonderful. It's just like, wow, why did you get to this remote corner, you fucking idiot? Here, go back home. There is nothing for you here. Nothing but misery. Hey, really. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but sometimes I feel a little deliberately annoyed and not incidentally annoyed, I guess. Hey, you again. Yeah, wolves. I know. Oh no, good thing I have the silver cat ring. Actually, it's not doing anything. You wouldn't get any damage here. And again, with the one-way street here, So again, if you invade here, you just probably shouldn't invade here. It's not great fun. It's not great fun at all. And you have to do this entire thing for this item, and it's just a fucking large soul. It's not even good. Like, there is no point to it. You already have everything you need from the tower, and the entire rest is just, I would call it worthless, but it kind of feels like it, to be quite honest. I gotta be frank here. When I got this soul item after going through the wolves and the tower and everything for the third time in a row, and finally I made it to the end there, fell down, cool set piece, I guess, and then I got 2,000 souls, something. Like, wow, cool, thank you. I really feel accomplished. I don't even know what I would put there. It's like to actually have me feel rewarded. Maybe a gem, maybe an upgrade gem. Those are pretty good. Could have more of them. Sharp gem, refined gem. I don't know. First time I was here, I was like, oh my god, this hole is super suspicious. Oh, there's a bonfire there, but maybe there is a trick to it. But there is actually no trick to it. You can just go here. I don't know what the hole is for. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend these souls on a level because I really need to get up there. First I want more vitality to wear what I want, and next time I got a little bit of extra souls, I will upgrade the javelin and the axe to +3, and then take them out for a spin in an appropriate area and decide what I want to do with my build. Just something a little quicker to have on the side, maybe use the bone wheel shield a little more, don't know, let's see. I wanted a level, yes, right.
Well, very then take.
Almost. Just sell a few of these helmets.
Ah.
Have some extra weapons too. No, not yet. Perfect, 300 is what I need. Oh no, I can't sell 3 of them, I need 1. Oh, this is perfect.
Ashen
Okay.
one.
Good.
Well, very then take.
Let's go to 25.
Farewell.
I want to keep wearing heavy stuff, then I definitely need that. Then we go to probably 25 health, and then we do the 50.
Gracious,
strength.
passing fine ash thou'st given. Let this I only hope.
Yeah. What do I get from this? I think the Millwood set, which looks rather cool, but I am a little bit soul starved at the moment. And what else? Maybe one of these things here. Millwood arrows? Yes, Millwood arrows. Okay, wonderful.
Ashen one.
Yeah. 404. Okay. Do I want anything more from ashes? Let's press on a bit. On the other hand, maybe I should do that with my new weapons. Maybe I should do this with my new weapons. Just go, Simon. Don't think so much. You always get decision paralysis and we're not getting anywhere. So the first part I think is pretty much done. Oh yeah, I have to go back a little bit anyway, so there I can get my souls to upgrade my weapons because I'm kind of low on the consumable souls, I think. At least the bigger ones. I used a few of those for the 34 strength level. Guess we will keep the club for now because it is obviously superior to the thugs. Something which I kind of found confusing the first time I was here is this corner, because there is nothing here, even though it seems like there should be. Then I realized it's an invasion spawn point, so I have one of those as an example for seemingly weird useless corners where actual it's just meant for invader to spawn in. We are going at this backwards basically. So any traps will be triggered from behind, more or less, but this is good because these traps suck. You're going to see what I mean when we reach the top. I think the grab attack is always so weirdly delayed that it tends to get me. It's the same for Dance's grab attack actually. Maybe we will run into that later on. Keep forgetting that there is a second one here. Nope. Oh, come on! Grab attacks, man. If it only didn't take so long. Like, I know, I realize I fucked up. It's fine, just kill me. This is not the annoying part, though it is rather annoying at the moment. Never quite know how far the area of effect of these frost breaths actually extends. But it's not terrible, I guess. Where is that coming from? Dying breath? I guess. Okay. This is where the fuckery comes in. Not the wolves per se, but there are two of the fire trees, and I think there is no, there's three, and there is a bunch more around the corner, and this is truly where we have reached absolute no fun territory. How did that deal so much damage? See, these guys, they're even less durable than the wolves, complete and utter jokes, and they will be more prominent even later in the DLC, where they have completely lost any impact which they could have. I guess they have some extra potential as enemies, because they later once they can leechify you, I think. But it makes me again question why have them here? Oh yeah, what I've completely forgot is that you can, even the fire trees, you can light up. Yeah. This is one way to deal with them a little better, but it's still not ideal. Especially not against the three here. Kidding me? Gonna carve my initials in you, fucker. See, this is just like, this is not fun at all. You just have to lure them here at some point, and then roll away a bit, and it just creates this area denial effect, which I'm just not fond of in a Souls game, which in my opinion should be more about carefully picking and choosing when you attack. This is my preference. The game doesn't have to be like I want it to be, of course. But I can only voice my own opinions here. Oh, there's the last one. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go. Let's use the souls we got from here. And don't use frozen weapon. I think that takes something like 16, 18 intelligence, sadly enough. But we have our frozen weapon here already. And let's ponder if we want to use the javelin or the axe. I'm gonna have to try out the movesets a little bit beforehand. But I think I will do that off screen. One more thing. Let's go into the church. Say hello. Something I didn't do for quite a while the first time I was here, because I was immediately discovering this ladder here. I think some people don't. A little weird in my... let's kill the crystal. It's a little weird in my opinion, because you would at the very least see that there is a path down here and jump to it, maybe. By now, after all the exploration that the main game has taught you, you should really expect that. Also, most obvious trap in the universe. Wow! Yeah, while they're in the air, I think they take extra damage. Still really funny. And they're guarding a shriving stone. Magnificent. I've always needed more of those in my life. One of the most pointless items there is in this game, and they're always treated like some super treasure, which is hidden and protected, I guess, by the most pathetic of enemies. Thematically appropriate, I guess, but yeah, this is just one shard, but hey, I mean, I need those at the moment, so it's good to get it. Should take out the wolf at some point for its 3 shots, but maybe I will do that to test out the new weapons, but I definitely won't subject you to watching me die all the time. There is just no real good way to get there. I think you just kind of have to run there, kill all the wolves, and then hit the big one a bunch, hoping that he doesn't kill you, because it deals quite a lot of damage. Maybe later, before I activate the boss fight. Anyway, it took me a while to explore this here, and also seemed very definite as far as areas go. So I didn't get that there is this guy here.
Well, you look to be unkindled. No bell tolls. And yet you've slipped into the painting.
It's the most magnificent voice.
Oh, no matter. If you've lost your way,
That outfit is cool.
the words of Lady Frida will guide you. Now go on inside, show respect and listen carefully.
I will, after helping someone out, hopefully. Let's see if they last a little bit longer. Here, huh? Well, I should know my way around at the very least. Oh, they've already taken care of the enemy, so I can't just run. That's nice. Yeah, know my way around. I'm good at this game. Cletus. Always with the traps. Wow, he was on me fast. Didn't expect him to turn around. Not again! Ugh. I mean, I was using that tactic before, so I really shouldn't complain. Parry this motherfucker. That I was out of stamina. Don't just drink in front of him. I'm helping you out a lot here, man. Don't waste it. Yes. Wonderful. How much Estus does he have? Oh yeah, he killed the Phantom, right? Doesn't bode well for me. Nope, it doesn't. Well, never claimed to be good at PvP. Was close though, was close. 3 against 1. Everything is stacked against the invader. That's cool though. It's not like I desperately need the ears. But this is probably the level of skill most people expect from blues, which is just like they put it on while they're running around. See, this is a substantial reward. The hologem is really useful for people who are doing a luck build. Not a shriving stone. And this is pretty much what is true, because I am not good at PvP and I don't want to be necessarily, not in this game at the very least. I'm just hitting stuff with my hammer, and I'm putting on Way of the Blue just for the occasional invasion here and there, because it's fun.
What's keeping you? Show respect. And let Lady Frida speak to you.
Of course, then if someone with a dedicated kill build comes, then I don't have any chance. Yeah, that's the way it is. I'm at least a little bit better equipped, considering I have the fire bombs and stuff ready. I didn't miss much by not going here first. I completely didn't see him there, so I got a nasty surprise later. My nasty surprise was just, who the fuck are you and why are you annoying me?
Welcome to the painted world
But she
of
didn't have
Ariandel.
much of
I am
a
Frida.
comment on that either.
I have long stood Ashbet Ivan.
I mean, whatever. This is entirely meant as a lore bomb, basically. And you can even get more lore up here, and don't think that you have any items for getting here. It's just a long ladder again. Ah, yeah, right. She isn't even here yet because we haven't freed her yet. Or told her to go here, I guess. Catering. Thought I was suiciding, I wasn't. Anyway, and that's it here for now. Of course, it's going to be much more important later on. This sneaky shortcut door here. Doesn't even say it opens from the other side. Huh, right. And one other thing, which can unlock now, I guess, but I will get to later because I want to try out the weapons off screen first and see what suits me. I didn't get it this year. Friend of mine had to guide me. Like, seems a little short this DLC, and it is, but if you miss that you can kill the bridge here and then climb down, much like in the catacombs, which should tip you off, then it's going to be even shorter. But as I said, not this time. I'll check out the weapons, decide if I want to have one more later on. It's going to be a while though. And otherwise, we will see next time. So far, thank you very much for your attention.